Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Joe, and this is my garden. This is going to be an update of the entire garden. I'm not going to break it down into segments. I might do individual pepper segments still, but everything's winding down for the moment, and I'm going to be starting my fall garden soon. So, new videos on that coming out probably next week. How the garden's doing? Well, I got sidetracked for the last 2 weeks. I've been writing a program. It's been taking up a lot of time, and those that program know that once you get involved in something like that, it just, everything goes on the side. It just consumes your life. But anyway, you're not here to hear about that. You're here to see how awful my plants are doing. I stopped spraying. I usually do a liquid copper or a neem, and I just stopped spraying. I'm not going to touch it, but it's all blighted out. Those are the cucumbers. Some of the cucumbers down there are still fine. They're still producing, but the cucumbers are basically done. So later on today, I'm actually going to pull up all these plants except for the last two because they're still producing. And I'm going to prepare everything and get it all set, and that's where I'm going to grow my fall peas. I'm going to be planting those in a few days. The tomatoes, see? Blight? No blight. Blight? No blight. Disease-resistant plants. I know, they're hybrids, and you know, the world's going to end. Hybrids are fine. And you can't even get your hands on GMO, so don't even worry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna grow disease-resistant tomatoes from now on. There's just, I mean, look at this thing. It's big, healthy, green. I can actually top them a little bit because they're still putting on flowers, and there's no way that fruit is gonna fully set and develop and, you know, actually create large enough fruit for me to eat by the time it's too cold at night. What happened too is why the blight really took off. We're having an unseasonably really cool summer. Right now it's probably low 70s, and you know, that's okay for the morning, but in the dead of night there are some nights where it must be in the upper 40s, and the cucumber plants and the squash plants, they absolutely hate cold temperatures, and they'll be like, oh my god, it's cold, and just die. Tomato plants are a little more resistant, especially these, holy cow. And it's not like I'm not getting fruit. I'm getting lots of fruit. Now you can see I cut back this tomato plant. For some reason this one did. It got a bacterial spot. I'll show you. It was worse than that. I took off the bad leaves. But for some reason, you know, the bacteria is strong enough, it actually affected this plant. If you can see that. It was a lot worse than that. The leaves are actually turning yellow and whatnot. So I just decided to cut it back. It's not going to hurt nothing. And the other plants are still doing really, really well. Okay, enough about the tomatoes. I'm trying to make this shorter videos. And you just saw one of my squash plants fall over. That's okay. The squash, they're winding down. They're going to be done. It's getting cold. The fruit they are producing is a lot smaller than it was in the dead summer. You can still see some new ones coming on. So I still got new squash coming on, but I'll leave this plant alone. Look at this guy though. He produced a baby fruit, but no flower. And the fruit looks like it. Usually if a squash plant, like if the fruit doesn't set, it becomes really soft. Here, I'll show you that over here. I actually have one. I was gonna pick it off, but I saved it for the video. This guy right here. Let me just snap this guy off and I'll show you. See? It's really soft. This fruit isn't gonna set. It's done. It just was never pollinated. That's all that was. It's not a disease or anything. It was just never pollinated. This I wouldn't eat, so I just kind of just chuck it in the woods and let the animals have it. But as far as fruit size goes, this is about as big as they're getting now. Whoa, watch out. Oh no, whoa, whoa. Sorry about that. That's as big as they're getting. 2 to 3 times that was a normal size, but it's a good squash. I'll probably pick it. This plant's gonna be done though. There's maybe one more. Yeah, see, there's one more up here, but I can feel it, and I know that's not gonna set. It feels soft. It's not gonna go. So this plant's basically done. I'm not gonna let it carry on. And this is what happens when you grow your plant up a stake and forget to actually attach it to the stake. It fell over, but it's already correcting itself. But it's late in the season. There's a couple fruit on it. I'll probably cut the growing tip off just so it focuses on the fruit that's on it, and then in about 2 or 3 days I'll take this plant down. So right now I'm just keeping the last 2 plants, and these other plants over here I'm going to take what fruit's on them off and then take them down. You can see I haven't sprayed. I don't really want to touch it, but you know, I got powdery mildew. It's from not spraying, but they did good. I got a lot of squash. We froze it, we sliced it, refroze it. Fantastic. All right, now my showstoppers, my peppers. Holy cow, these guys. There are reports some of them have no heat, but you know what? I think that's just that one plant. I think it's just that. I don't know. I'm gonna test, but look at these guys. I mean, that's my hand. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of glaring. You know, I'll show you another one on the other side, but that's just one turning red. But they are all over the place. These 3 plants, there has to be, I don't know. I'm not gonna count them. There's a lot though. Now here's a good comparison. Those are those peppers and they're pruned. Now this is the same pepper plant, not pruned. 100% not pruned. You can see it's taller than the others because I pruned them. And there's about half as many peppers on them. Still long, still good. It's behind though. You can tell it's about a month behind those. And it's gonna be. I know this video is taking longer and I apologize, but you know, there's a lot to see, and hopefully, you know, you don't mind spending a Sunday morning with me. My jalapenos. These are gonna be turning red soon. There's quite a few on here. Oop, I see it. It's like a bug or something got at that one. Could've saved it for seed, but see how easy it was for me to take that off the plant? That means the plant actually aborted it. So we'll just get rid of that guy. And now, I haven't shown these too often. These are my large, thick Cayenne. Thicker at the top, half as long as the other ones, but they are just a beautiful pepper. I can't wait for those to turn red. And I got several of those plants. These guys here are a few more Joes long, not pruned, so they're nice. They're actually really tall plants. Those things must be amazing where you can grow these things year round and not have to dig them up or replant them every year. They must grow into trees. Alright, here's the kale. Oh, so much kale. So much kale. I mean, this obviously needs to get picked. We love kale, but our freezer's getting full of kale. You know, there's only so much kale someone can eat. So I'm gonna start giving it away in freaking bundles. But that's my tour of the garden. I'm gonna be chopping back the cukes and taking down 3 of the squash plants. But look at that. You can see the squash plants in the distance. They're taller than I am, and I'm 6 foot. Not quite 7 foot, but they're up there. Definitely I'm gonna keep on staking my squash. Out of 5 plants, they're very, very productive for me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this wasn't too long of a video. Tried to keep it a little entertaining. I know I tend to ramble like I am right now. Alright everyone, take care.